athletes. Slip, slop, slap, ladies and gentlemen. Please look after yourselves. And we are moments away from semi-final action. Where are all the Northern Crocs fans? Can you make some noise? Okay, at the top there, we like that. Any Fast Fours fans out there? Okay, semi-final number 1, maybe decided by the cheer squads. See how we go there. Semi-final number 2 over here on Showcourt number 1. Where's the Gold Coast Glory fans? I'll tell you what, sound check. The horn's out, but where's the Gladiator helmet? I'm sure that's coming out too. Finally, but not least, give it up for the Eastern Rush. Arguably the best cheer squad in the house. Like we said, moments away. We're going to get our stream up and running, and then you meet your athletes, your favourite players of the Major League Pickleball Australia competition, the third and final leg of Season 1. Very much so looking forward to getting underway. In fact, potentially moments. All right, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, it is time, and we're going to welcome the teams out. Kicking things off with Showcourt number 2. We're going to welcome, first and foremost, the Northern Crocs, the two-time defending champions, led by their captain, Summer Delaponna. Give it up for the Dutch import, Roos van Rijk. Welcome to you, sir, Mr. Nielsen Chen. Rounding out your four for the Northern Crocs, give it up, Aman Bhatia. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, the Northern Crocs. And their opponents, we welcome them to the court, the Fast Fours, led by their captain, George Wall. The pocket rocket, young sensation it is, Oliver Gray. Make some noise for Talia Saunders. And rounding out your four, give it up for Michaela Hyatt. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for the Fast Fours. It's now time to welcome our officials. Please welcome our referee, Miss Kylie Dunn. Well, that is introductions done for Showcourt number 2. And they can get underway with your final preparations. We're going to turn our attention now over to Showcourt number 1. Time to bring out these two teams on Stadium 1. First of all, the Gold Coast Glory. Give it up for their captain, Sarah.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Major League Pickleball Australia. My name is Dylan Kimlin. We are live from Focus Pickleball Redcliffe, about to get underway with our first semi-final of the day. We have the Northern Crocs taking on the Fast Fours, and this is going to be an absolute thriller of a match. Sitting alongside me, Hall of Famer Wes Gabrielson. Wes, how are we, mate?
Doing great. Happy to be here. Played all weekend, and now I get to watch.
Oh, mate, it's a good job, that is for sure, and we have a thrilling game on our hands. We see our ladies currently warming up, both the Fours and the Crocs. Wes, you've had a chance to battle it out with some of these ladies. Give us some insight.
Yeah, I actually got to play against Rose earlier today in the bronze medal match for the PPA event, and what a sweet human being and a fierce competitor. It's a pretty cool combo.
Yeah, she is. She's a good egg, as we say here in Australia, and a renowned competitor within the Gold Coast pickleball space. But how did your game go against her?
We were able to pull it out. My partner played solid all day, and I just enjoyed watching. So
there we go. When your partner's on a tear, you let him go. Speaking of highlight plays, we have the Michaela Hyatt, Talia Saunders duo warming up currently for the Fast Fours. And fair to say, we were talking off camera, Wes, where you mentioned that the just a significant improvement of play from Michaela Hyatt throughout the season.
Oh my gosh. I think back to the initial practice sessions. I met her in Sydney and we played, and from then to now, I think she's improved more than any female in the league. And
there we go.
Got a chance to play her earlier today as well, and she was on fire. And what a cool combo she has style-wise with Talia. Talia is such a brick wall when she plays. So this is going to be a really awesome matchup.
Yeah, not wrong there. And Mickey, big praise for you. As we see the ladies warming up, Captain Summer Dalabona has taken the court. She will be receiving right now with Rose Van Rooyen. Speed up, scored long. Fast Fours getting the first points of the game. Oh, lunging effort, both Rose and Summer diving in the kitchen, getting caught by it. Smart play by Talia.
It's going to be interesting to see the strategy in this, because I think Talia and Michaela are definitely going to grind a bit more.
Well, there we go. We see that fast-paced play coming out straight away. We can expect guns blazing from the Crocs ladies.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Elite Van Rijk, Rose popping off once more. She was the MVP in Auckland, and we know why.
That's a clinic on how to go from defense to offense. Really impressive stuff.
Ooh, Summer Dalabona with a forehand drive, can't convert. Falls taking a 1-point lead.
Yeah, a little foot fault here, huh?
Yep, looks like it. And Wes, we have to mention the footwork of Rose Van Rijk is pretty elite, considering that her left leg is heavily strapped.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that in the bronze when I played her. She was moving really well. Oh, my.
Ooh.
Such good dinking variety to set that up. It's so fun to see all of the players what I call moving off the ball. So they're not just standing there and waiting to dink. They're moving, creating spin and shape.
Speed up goes long. And Rose Van Rijk to bring it back in once more. Currently 4-4. Just short. Delabonna, a couple of errors on her dinking side here, Wes.
Yeah, I think with Michaela stepping around and hesitating before that forehand dink, it puts a little more pressure on whoever's receiving that ball, and we're seeing some misses. Oh, almost.
And they're just going 1 for 1, ladies and gentlemen. We are playing the rally scoring format. You do not have to be the server to score the point. Pop up, put away, the highlight, Hayet putting that one straight at the toes of Rose Van Rijk.
Seeing a few nerves there, right? And what's interesting about rally scoring is every point counts. You got to make your thirds. Whether they're high, short, you got to get them in.
Three dinking errors here for Delabonna, whereas it feels like Rose is getting a significant portion of the dinks. However, no errors on her side just yet.
Yeah. She's getting involved.
Yep.
I think I noticed up until that point, the fours duo was really holding the line well. The Crocs were back off that line a couple of steps, and that just gives the fours more time to create and attack. Oh, my word.
Just oppressive offense there for the fast fours. I'm not even remotely concerned about Rose Van Rijk's lower limb injury. She's popping around.
Like I told you, I didn't know in that bronze match she was hurt. She was moving and grooving. I think that's actually, even though she missed that ball, I think it's good that Summer's taken more out of the air because that's when she plays her best.
Patience from Talia Saunders converting to offensive play. How good was that?
You talk about a defensive clinic. We talked about Rose earlier in the match, but Talia is the master. It's that badminton background.
Coming into play, 3-point lead. Yeah, the net cord working in favour for the Crocs. Rose Van Rijk walloping that one. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we will swap at the 11-point mark. Beautiful sunny day here at Redcliffe. Wind is a factor, however. Double barrel Dalabona. Absolutely elite when she gets that pop-up opportunity.
Yeah, you were talking about the wind as a factor. I think we've seen all day, and we've seen in this match, more drops and dinks to the middle of the court versus hitting angles. It's a smart, patient play.
Oh, nearly. That's the 11-point mark. The falls will force a rotation. And let's discuss that, Wes. So, in your windy conditions, why would you recommend that particular play style?
Yeah, I just think if you are dropping or driving too close to the line, the corners, the wind can blow that ball out. Simple as that. And I think it's just smart also to build from the middle because we've got 4 very aggressive players. Even if you hit a low dink out wide, it gives that player an angle, right? If you dink shallow to the middle or deep to the middle, it eliminates that angle.
Amazing insight from the Hall of Famer. It's absolutely been wonderful having you in our season this early part of the year. Wes, I hope you've had a great time here visiting Down Under and tearing it up on our courts.
It's been awesome. I mean, each event has gotten better and better, the level of play, but the people have been fantastic. You know, I've gotten to partner with people from Hong Kong and Singapore and Taiwan today, and Roman Estrella from California as well. So.
And he is currently duking it out, ladies and gentlemen. The Gold Coast Glory versus the Eastern Rush on our other live stream. That will also be a thriller. The winner of this game will verse the winner of that game. Gameplay underway.
That's
combining
ridiculous defense. I mean,
and Talia Saunders, it has to be said, did have a bit of a tummy bug earlier in this event, playing some great pickleball.
One more step up and she has it. She's got this little inside-out forehand flick that I don't see anyone else in this competition use, but it sets up that shot, right?
Well, speed up is good.
I don't think anyone saw that coming.
Yeah, a bit of pace there from the Crocs, and we mentioned Talia Saunders' badminton background. Terrifying prospect when it is popped up. Commentator's curse words. Why do I bring up smashing?
I don't know.
Thanks, Talia. Tied game, 12-12.
Love that ball.
There we go. But thank you.
I think what was key on that one is that first high ball, the Crocs were expecting a hard, fast play. Talia hit a little off speed, got an easier put away, and into the point. So.
What a rally.
Wow.
The fours with the transition couldn't capitalize, however. Northern Crocs just so oppressive at the net.
I think we saw the summer signature shot there where the ball sits up. She has a little delay on that backhand, and then she brings it cross body.
Oh, what a rally. Fast fall, so strong.
Defense for days.
Whereas all of these ladies are accomplished double-handed backhand users. We've seen that become a very popular trend here with our ladies.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, the fast fall is getting everything back.
To use a line from our good friend Gordo Watson, sensational.
There we go.
Sensational. Got to get one in there, you know?
Yeah, of course, mate. Gordon Watson currently calling our other game right now. Oh, well left. Good communication from the fours.
Yeah, communication key, but also people say good eyes are important in pickleball. Good ears.
Yes.
Got to listen.
Speaking of which, we are hoping you're enjoying the broadcast this weekend, as we have an error there for Talia Saunders. Ooh, service error in the rally scoring format. That stings.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's interesting. When the game gets tighter, it's closer to the end. Do you pull it back and play a little bit more conservatively, or do you still press? And I guess we'll find out what they choose to do here.
Yeah, well, we can see our officials just having a chat regarding the ball. The ball has been tossed back to the Crocs.
Yeah.
That may be counted as a replay.
I don't think so.
No, not the case. So it's currently 16-15. Talia Saunders with ball in hand. There we go.
Might be the first ball she's missed in
Yeah.
like 30 minutes.
She's played at a very high percentage thus far, Michaela Hayat.
Wow.
There's that badminton background coming into play. Talia Saunders putting it to the left.
Thing we all appreciate about Talia, too, she's always having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
She's dialed in, but she's having a good time. Fun on and off the court.
Pop up, put away, too easy for the Crocs. And Wes, I mentioned that double-handed backhand earlier. I'll get your insight after this play as to why our ladies here would be utilising it a bit more.
Unlucky.
So for our, just from an educational point of view, for our viewers at home that may be, looking to work on their backhand, is there a reason why you may use a double-handed backhand?
Well, I think for the three of the ladies on the court come from a very high level of tennis, and so it's pretty natural for them. Just enamored by the play. I was just going to say it can help you create a little bit more angle, having that second hand on. So there for Summer as a righty, that left hand on top gives a little extra guidance and whip on that ball, whereas a one-handed backhand might just sit into the court.
Yeah, great insight. And we have a tied game right now. The Crocs ladies having a chat, 18-all. We expected a thriller to get us started between these two, and that's exactly what has occurred.
Now, wait, if I were the fours here, I'd call a timeout. It's getting a little tight here at the end, but... Oh, maybe not. Clutch return.
Yeah, I mean, Captain George Wall backs his ladies, lets them keep on going. Tied game still, 19-19. Nikki Hayat unable to get that last one over, hit the handle. And the Crocs now find themselves in a game point situation. Rose Van Rijk to bring the ball in.
Wow. Now to the crucial 20-point winner take all.
Yeah, we're going to keep on going until someone gets a 2-point lead, ladies and gentlemen.
This will set the tone for the rest of the match.
What's the highest score you've seen, Wes?
I'm thinking back a little PTSD from,
Oh, no,
from
the
season. I've had a couple of losses that I think were 26-24.
Yep. Oh, wow, that is a large score line.
25-23. I think that the highest I've seen is 26-24.
Okay.
So.
And let's talk pressure pickleball. So these ladies right now are in an absolutely close battle.
Yep.
With your Asia Aces side, we obviously saw the Dream Breaker last night, pressure pickleball situation.
Yep.
What advice would you be given to the ladies if you were trying to guide them through this.
Well, if I'm the team that's serving right now, the Crocs, I'm serving into a heavy wind.
Yep.
I'm hitting it a little bit harder than normal, and I'm probably adding a little more topspin. So if that ball hits, the wind's going to blow it back and keep it low to the ground. Conversely, if I am on the fours, I'm going to move my return target maybe a foot shallower, just in case that wind picks up. So I play a little more conservatively here on the first ball.
Yes.
Wow.
4 to the floor. Talia Saunders tying things up, 21 apiece.
Such a good middle drop. Wow.
Talia, man, you mentioned how much Mickey Hyatt has improved over the year, but Talia Saunders, she is rock solid right now.
The summer special right there.
Yeah, not over yet, says Summer. 22-22. Speaking of summer, the sun is shining right now. Glorious day here at Redcliffe. And they take the lead. We have another lead swap and another game point situation. The captain with ball in hand. Can she get it done for her side? Yes, she can.
Wow.
Captain's point. Summit Alabama taking the lead in that regard. 24-22. What a screamer of a game.
Great first match. I mean, and Summer does what she does best, whether it's 0-0, 10-10, match point, she goes for it.
Not wrong, Wes. Was there any particular highlight transitions in that game that really came to mind?
I was just so impressed with the patience level for forward players that can play aggressively. And again, using the middle of the court to play it safe, but to also build the point. And I just can't wait for the men's match. It's just going to add and add and add, and this will get even better.
Yeah, not wrong. And speaking of which, we can see the fellas from the Crocs on the court currently on the right side. Nelson Shen, the MVP from our Sydney event earlier this year, is currently having a whack with Bhatia, who has had a bit of a lower limb injury throughout the weekend, but he was tearing it up yesterday in the games we showed.
Yeah, I think you've got two incredibly athletic and aggressive left side players who have found throughout the season how to combine when one player has to play on the right.
Yeah.
And it's just been super fun to get to know these guys and talk strategy, and I think they're going to play an aggressive game no matter what. And they're playing two tall gentlemen on the other side as well.
Wrong. Ollie Gray and George Wall for the fast fours. The captain himself is on the court. George played a tremendously close semi-final in the PPA events that I covered earlier today. Teaming up with Oliver Gray. There I just mentioned Armin Bhatia pushing nearly a 6.0 Duper rating. Ridiculously quick hands, and he has been so good throughout our events.
Yeah.
In Auckland and Sydney.
And what's amazing about him is, and I would tell him the same thing in person here, I mean, the guy is just beginning. I mean, his ascension will be insane.
Yep.
I think we're seeing, if 10 out of 10 is Armand and it's his best, I think he's at a 5.
Yeah, wow.
I think he's got so much, just like a lot of players here.
Yep.
And such a good athlete. And what's impressive is he plays such smart but aggressive pickleball.
So you mentioned earlier that the dominance, they're both left side players. So we'll see who goes on the left here.
Yeah, I think Armand's typically been on the left, and this will be a great one.
Ollie Gray to bring it in for the fast four, 0-0. The Crocs taking the first points in this exchange. Bhatia with ball in hand. Wow, Oliver Gray digging that one out.
I think strategy-wise, and we've seen this already, I think the Crocs are going to dink a little more to George to keep him out of the middle because he's so dangerous when he comes across the middle. I got hit by him a couple times yesterday, so I know. That was a little deep.
Called long there from Ollie Gray.
Yep.
The Falls taking a 1-point lead. And let's talk about the combination here of George Ball, Ollie Gray. Obviously, a bit of an age difference there. George Ball being such a good mentor to Ollie Gray.
Yeah.
Ooh, Ollie Gray, right side,
little
perfection.
Fire from the young man. He's always got a good sense of humor going, but it's fun to see him fired up.
Oh, it's good. So from a mentoring point of view, Wes, because we just mentioned George with Ollie, you did the same with the age races as well.
Yeah.
Oh, hands are flying.
Yeah,
in that exchange.
I would say it's super enjoyable to be on a team with people we haven't played with each other before, and everyone kind of serves as a teammate / coach / cheerleader for all of us. It's so fun to have players coaching each other during a match, and everyone's so receptive to help.
Bartia normally lethal with that backhand flick of his, unable to get it back over.
Yeah, I think that middle dink, that middle drop is putting a little more pressure on him.
You know, you mentioned earlier there was a smash attempt where Talia Saunders took the pace off the smash. We just saw Nilsson Shen do the same thing.
Oh, that's a great ball.
He has ridiculously long reach, Ollie Gray.
Yeah. You think he's not going to get there, and then he gets there and hits it hard with spin. Love that shape. So if we look at that pattern, Armand hits 2 really heavy slice dinks. The third one, he rolls.
Yeah.
So it forces George a little more off the court, changes the ball coming at him. Such a great play.
So good for George Wall. And let's discuss spin, Wes. So in windy conditions like this, would you be opting to utilize more spin?
I would if the ball elevates. So off the bounce, I would say if it's up to about my knee level, I would tend to hit a little more of a roll. If it's low, I want to get under it, so a little more underslice, underspin for that type of shot. Miss serve.
Sarah, yeah. Simple.
Yep. I think there's an example of 2 players being very aggressive and a little bit of miscommunication, but these guys have gotten better as a team all season. That's why they're 2-time champs.
Not wrong.
Ooh.
Ollie Gray trying to dig it out, not to be cop one to the arm.
Might have to sign that for him later with a Sharpie. Ball tattoo.
Normally Ollie's the one delivering the tattoos.
Yes, he is.
Speaking of which, great speed up. He's had a fair bit of success with that forehand roll.
Yeah, so if I'm in the Crocs position, if you have tall players who are just pounding that ball, again, move it to the middle, make them attack right at you instead of down the line.
Slapping at it, Armand Bardio with a bit of a pop-up. Ollie Gray has been lethal to them so far. A little bit lucky on that one. There we go, take two, that goes long. And Ollie Gray and his side will take, ironically, a 4-point lead.
Yeah, even though Armand popped that one up a bit, it's early in the match.
Yep.
It's a different look. I think you can sacrifice losing a couple points like that to just send a message and keep the fours guessing a bit more.
Yep.
So I see that a little bit more in mixed, where the male player comes over, maybe overexerts themselves. I'm not speaking from history myself as well, but you kind of send that message, and then you get more settled in, you make more. So not a bad play.
Wes, I'm curious, from a player's perspective, is it hard to transition from going straight from a men's doubles game to a mixed doubles game?
I can see how it would be. I feel like if you tell yourself you need to move a little bit more and be a little bit more patient, then it's not too bad of a transition. I think a lot of players, wow, what a rally.
Oh, Nielsen Shen.
Yeah. I think a lot of players, when they transition from men's to mixed, think they need to be more aggressive. And my response would be more aggressive with your movement, not your pace.
Well, you mentioned movement. Wonderful transition for the fast fours.
What I love, too, is I'm looking around. The crowd is building. The excitement is building. A lot of the players are watching.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we do have to say, as the sun is starting to set here at Redcliffe, we have a ton of players just behind the camera that you can currently see. They're all enjoying the same view that you are. Oh,
that's the difference between Ollie and Sydney, and now hitting the off speed versus pitching the fastball.
Yep.
So fun to watch the growth.
Well, Bartia had his shovel out to dig that one, but unfortunately for the Crocs, the fast fours are on fire. We have a timeout here on the side of the Crocs as a result. And they are looking pretty. From a leadership perspective, Wes, how have you found discussing? Do you have any captains discussions with any of the other? Oh, you're not a captain, but do you speak with the other captains in regards to a leadership?
Yeah, like I've had captains ask, or I've asked them kind of what does it entail for you? It's, drafting the team is one thing, but I know with our team, Venice is awesome about communication. Since we all live in different parts of the world, we don't get to practice until we come to these events. Booking the houses for us, and things like that, where the off the court piece, when it's done well, like Venice does for us, it makes the on the court a lot easier. You just get to focus on pickleball and showing up, and there's strategy, but then there's the off the court piece. So.
Fair to say it's a team effort, Wes, and you just mentioned a critical point that we do have the draft coming up as well. Season 3 draft, ladies and gentlemen, July 4th. Unfortunately, we may see some teams get split up.
I think it's going to happen.
What I'm curious about, Wes, is that the Northern Crocs have currently won 2 championships in a row. I imagine they're not going to be. They're not going to receive a favourable draft situation. Let's put it that way.
Well, and I would be shocked if more than 2 of their team members would be on the same team again.
Yeah, I would agree entirely with that.
I think the women's doubles combination we may not see again. Unfortunate for the viewers, fortunate for the competitors.
Yeah. Oh, the fours are on fire right now.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, you make a good point, Wes, in that Summit Alabama, Res Van Rieck, one of the strongest women's doubles groups thus far in the MLPA. Bhartiya taking control. Yeah, considering she was probably second in the MVP counts for the Sydney event and then received the MVP, I would be very surprised if Rose wasn't a top 3 pick.
Oh, she should be. I mean, yeah, no doubt about it.
Yep, that is quite literally a toe cruncher right on Bhartiya's foot. The Fours find themselves in a game point situation to tie things up 1-1.
The beauty for the Crocs is the freeze right here.
And it's come up very important thus far throughout our series of events this weekend. Lob for lob. I just realised, we were looking at a 20 here. It's not the case. It's currently 19-12.
Not the freeze. But you're on it. We got it. Oh. Now we got it.
About it.
I mean, the defense there from the Crocs. I mean, George pressed. He hit every good shot. Ollie hit a good shot. What can you do?
No, you just tip your hat to them. Incredible play by the Northern Crocs.
First 2 blocks were beautiful, though. He hit a shot there no one else hits. He squats.
Yep.
And hits a little undercut forehand.
Oh, so good
what
for the
match.
Fours. Incredible
Great
rally.
pickleball.
And the Fast Fours have tied
So
things
good.
up to 1 apiece. My goodness, what a game. Now, Wes, what is currently happening is our captains will pick their mixed sides. In entertain the viewers, what is going through the discussions here?
Yeah, so it's interesting because after the coin flip, one side has chosen to react. So it kind of looks like to me that the Fours, based on where our official is moving, the Fours have to declare first. So some teams are, have a predetermined order no matter what. Others have to, or decide to respond based on the matchup out there. Looks like we've got George and Michaela out first. So now the Crocs get to put the pairing out there that they'd like.
Yep, fair call. And there is a fair bit of strategy in this, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, we have matchups throughout the day. We have had a ton of pickleball as well. Fair to say form is relevant. And if the players have already had a bit of success against each other throughout our events this weekend, it may come into play with their picks.
For sure. Do you know how many Dream Breakers we've had? I feel like there haven't been a
this
ton
weekend
compared to others.
Yeah, you are right. I believe we've had less. I'm pretty sure I've called all the Dream Breakers. And I called 3 yesterday, to which you were in one.
We did have a good result in ours. Yes, it was a great team effort.
Absolutely.
So much fun.
Incredible set of plays from yourself. We had the crowd in stitches seeing you tear it up on the singles play.
I've been I've been asked every event, hey, how come you're not playing singles? And my response is, I will play 4 points at a time, and then I will sit for 12, and then I'll go play for 4. In the States, my career ended at age 29. That's about 10 years ago. So no more singles for me unless it's forced.
That's your singles career, yeah.
My singles career, yes, not the
I
doubles career.
found it hilarious in the conversation you and I had earlier, in that you were saying you were only a 5.0 rated singles player, and that there's people at home wondering, like, oh, okay, only a 5.0.
Well, compared to the doubles rating at 6.0 level, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was fun. I think Dream Breakers are, and I was talking to Katie Hart about this today because she was so clutch. She played Amelia and a ton of points last night. Amelia played great pickleball, but Katie just elevated to a different level. And I said to Katie, in my mind, watching a lot of Dream Breakers in the States and playing in some myself, it's all about head and heart. Yeah. Sometimes you may be the underdog in the matchup, but in that moment, do you elevate and do you dig deep?
No, Katie Hart indeed absolutely tore things up, as we currently have Gold Coast Glory taking on the Eastern Rush on our other court. And speaking of which, Katie Hart looks like she's actually about to get on. Wes playing with Joey Wild.
All right, let's get wild.
Let's get wild indeed. Joey taking the gold medal today in the mixed action.
Yep.
Absolutely freakish player. Speaking of freakish players, we have Summit Alabona, Nelson Chen lining up for the Northern Crocs. It's a good old-fashioned captain's clash. Mickey Hyatt and Captain George Ball ready to go.
Now, all the players are amazing here, but referencing an earlier point, you talked about strategy. I would look at this combo and I'd say that George and Michaela are probably the top mixed team for the fours. And I would say that Nelson and Summer are probably the number 2 team. So I think maybe incredible players, but probably on paper that's the number 2. So maybe that was a factor in determining the matchup.
We saw it happen earlier today in our events yesterday, where we saw the Sydney Smash deciding to rotate Amelia Schmidt and Mitchell Hargraves.
Yes.
So the strategy is definitely in effect, ladies and gentlemen. It also has to be said, the Crocs would be comfortable in a Dream Breaker situation. They've been in so many of them.
Yes. I think no one would deny the fact that on paper they have the best top to bottom singles lineup in a Dream Breaker situation.
Oh, what a drive from Summit Alabona. Freakish.
Great drop.
Wes, I'm curious. As a team, your team did play with players that English isn't necessarily their first language.
Yep.
That is the same right now for Summer and Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get your insight onto this after this play. You often hear people say that you feel the game of pickleball. Is that something that you found it's like a universal language when you're out on the court?
Sure, and I think, in the team I was in, a lot of our players are from nations where English is a prevalent language, and so for us it wasn't necessarily a barrier, but for some other teams I know it can be interesting communication-wise, but like you said, pickleball is kind of like a universal language where tactics and strategies are what brings people together.
Well, it's funny, right? When I coach all my players here at Focus Pickleball Redcliffe, I always talk about the importance of the paddle tap after a game.
Of course.
It doesn't matter where in the world you play, we all do it.
Mm-hmm.
And also I frequently mention that if you don't do it, you're probably going to cop it.
Yeah, and I think, too, paddle tap in between every point with your partner. I love it. It's a sign to keep you together as a team. Wow. That's a good ball.
Speaking about communication, Nelson Shen sending a clear message to the fours that he is ready to go. Currently a 1-point game, 5-6.
And the Crocs are definitely, we talked about, I think in the women's match, adding shape to your dinks. The Crocs are adding so much variety of spins, which is why they're dictating a lot of these dink rallies.
Oh, that was high. Crocs dodged that one, 6-6. Summer Delabona would have to be one of the most relaxed captains I've ever seen in a sporting environment.
We had a nice chat earlier today about her strategizing. I said, each of the captains were like, hey, Wes, what do you think about season 2 in the draft? And she goes, I haven't thought about it yet.
She's probably thinking about lunch.
She's just like, I just want to go play. No, which is why she's so good. She's dialed into one thing at a time.
Well, you think about it, she's been, as we mentioned, the Crocs have been in so many Dream Breakers. Summer never looks pressured. She's just cool, having a good time.
Yep, she's having a great time.
Oh, good speed up there by George Wall.
That is George's signature shot. Pattern, I should say. A couple great dinks across court. He really hesitates before he flips that into your body, and usually you miss.
Nelson Shen jabbing at it. Took too much pace off of it, unfortunately. The fours tie it up, 8-8.
Oh, she was on it, though.
Yeah, didn't hit the paddle as cleanly as Summer would have liked.
We got a little fiery George Wall there. When he gets fired up, he means business.
Scary prospect. Oh, how good was that? Sneaky by Shen.
It's always interesting when you play someone who's very calm, and then when they get fired up, it's almost, not that he's doing it on purpose, but it adds a level of pressure to you as an opponent.
I agree.
Wow.
Oh, Nielsen Shen fist bump. Talking about firing himself up. Nielsen's very calm.
Andy, one thing Summer told me off court today was how much fun she has playing with Nelson, because he's got such a unique energy about him. You can't help but smile and laugh and have fun.
Fight. The fours winning that one, 10-10. Did you see that clip of Nielsen that went viral, Wes?
I did.
How crazy was that?
Yeah, well, I mean, you get such a high-level athlete. You put your paddle in the right spot, good things are bound to happen.
Oh, good hands. The fours taking that one. We have a rotation of sides, 11-10. For our viewers at home wondering what Wes and I are referring to, Nielsen went for a Ernie and was there before the ball was even struck, so he just had to stick his paddle up.
Oh.
But
I'm sure he got so many comments this week about this.
Just the level of IQ to know that that's exactly where it's going about 2 seconds before it does.
Sure.
Crazy. Close game once again as our players are rotating sides. Absolutely pristine afternoon here at Focus Pickleball Redcliffe for our Major League Pickleball Australia semi-finals. And Wes, it's fair to say out of the 4 teams still in the mix between the Crocs Fours, Glory and Rush, this could be anyone's championship.
I agree. I think the 3 other teams, aside from the Crocs, would tell you, though, if they're going to play the Crocs, get it done before the Dream Breaker.
Oh, yes.
It's no knock to their abilities, but they do not want to play them in singles.
That's right. George Wall to bring it in. Nielsen Shen once more.
I think George just demonstrated why he is such a sought-after partner. A little bit of miscommunication. Instead of an eye roll or negativity, it's a smile and it's a paddle tap. That's a great captain, great partner.
So good. There you go, leading from the front.
Yep.
Yeah, we have to give credit to George Wall and Summer Delabona, the way they've captained their sides. Fast Fours have had significant or constant improvement throughout their standings.
Yeah, it's been super fun to see the improvement, like you said, of the Fours. Our Aces team got to play them in Sydney and had they beat us 3-1, a lot of close matches, and just to see the level of elevation from all 4 from beginning to end. It's what's great about MLP Australia.
Was it fair to say that their improvement was fast, Wes?
Ha.
Dad joke out of
Pun
nowhere.
intended.
The Crocs taking a 1-point lead. We'll just shamble past that.
I feel like I'm in the booth with Gordo. That's his go-to right there. Some good puns, dad jokes. Wow.
Whoa. Down the middle, and Nilsson's fired up. We did not see this happen often.
He is, but he can't stop laughing, too. That's
Entertaining, for sure.
Ooh.
So, Wes, you mentioned that you said that this may be the second side for the Northern Crocs.
Mm-hmm.
How important would the victory be should they be able to pull this
Ooh,
off?
it's huge when you have your quote-unquote number one team coming in with confidence against possibly, in their mind, the number two of the other team.
That's
There's
right.
a mismatch, but you know what? Anything's possible.
Definitely, and we got Mickey Hyatt playing shots like that. Victory is definitely not ensured. Summer Stunner down to the feed. Captain Clash taking George on.
And I think one of the adjustments, I don't know if it's improvement, but adjustments the Fours have made is in Sydney they had different mixed pairings. George was playing with Talia, and Ollie was playing with Michaela. So I believe this is event 2 with the current mixed doubles pairings, and they've been quite successful.
Well, they're through to the quarters, and we did see, through to the semis, my apologies.
Mm-hmm.
We did see that occur in Auckland as well, where they had
Yes.
an absolute ripper of a semi-final against the Eastern Rush, to which they went down in the end. Actually, my apologies. I believe it may have been a quarterfinal, if memory
I think
serves
it
me
was.
right. Yeah, either way, it was an absolute screamer of a match.
Yeah.
So for the Fours, they've taken it one step further. Constant improvement, as we mentioned earlier.
Ball rolling on with force.
Yeah, we've got our Masters events going on one of our courts
I
behind camera.
got to give a shout out to the Singapore sensation, Penny Lee,
Oh, yeah.
teammate of mine on the Aces, who is going for a triple crown today in
Whoa.
the Masters division. Yeah.
Whereas when I was calling your game, I actually mentioned that Penny Lee was incredible in your doubles events. She played so well.
She has hit a new level, and the fun thing about Penny is she's amazing human off the court and great player on the court, but we love hanging out with her because she wins all these gold medals, and she always says, "I'm buying dinner." So we love having her with us, and we'll definitely, who knows what happens in season 2, but have really enjoyed the experience teaming up with her and being on a team.
So is that a sneaky hint that you may have put your name in for the draft, Wes?
I'm going to, as we say in the States, I'm going to plead the fifth on that one. Don't want to get myself in trouble across the pond, making the commitment yet. So
Yeah, well played.
I've had a great time, though. I would love to come back, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, how good is that from the Northern Crocs?
What I love there is Nelson added, we talked about the onset of the broadcast, pressure with his movement, and then he hit an off-speed ball. He didn't rip it, which is what the team was expecting.
Oh, incredible rally. The Fours
That's
taking
such
control.
good pickleball.
And Wes, we saw a thriller in our last set of games. They were all so incredibly close. Replicating that once more, currently 18-18.
That's why they're here. Clutch pickleball. Wow.
That's the highlight. Coming up with the drive.
I love it. At an 18-18 tense moment. Going with what works best.
We have a timeout on the side of the Northern Crocs. Probably a smart idea. Momentum quickly shifting. I want to talk to you about the freeze, Wes, because obviously in the States they've recently removed the
Yes,
freeze.
they have.
So for our viewers at home, if you are in the freeze, what it means is if you're on the 20-point mark, your team must win the next set of points on your own serve. When you are defending a freeze, so when the opposition has the freeze, is there any change of strategies?
Defending the freeze, as in you're up 20, or
No,
the other way? Okay.
Yeah, so the opposition has
Gotcha. So I would say, I tend to play more to the middle.
Okay.
I make them try to beat you. And it's one of those things we talked about. Do you change your tactics? Even bigger question, because it's rally scoring. Do players play less aggressively, more aggressively? It kind of depends on the matchup. So I think it's based on your skill set. I would say the Crocs, especially in women's doubles, doesn't matter. If they're playing PPA or MLP, they're bringing the heat. Other teams play more conservatively, so. Oh, good pressure, though.
Speaking of the freeze, it is in effect. The Falls now find themselves in a game point situation. Crocs need to respond. Oh, Nielsen Chan is not done yet. So the Fast Fours must win this point to get the serve back to then take it to a game
in this
point.
situation, I think the Crocs can play free and take some chances, because if they lose, the match isn't over, right? That would be the shift.
Yeah.
More in the 19-20 position.
Oh,
wow.
That's a captain smack. The Northern Crocs snapping that one up, tying things up 2020. Once again, another 2020
In the women's
game.
match, I think we saw this, right? That
yes.
2020. And a good timeout.
Yeah. Well, we did see Wes in the PPA events that I called. The ladies were actually going at George Wall.
Yeah.
Considering he is so rock solid defensively, it was quite surprising to call it. But clearly, in this instance, Summer Delabon happy to take him on.
Yeah, I think, again, in a clutch moment, when I'm coaching people in the States, I say, you do you.
Yep.
We had a discussion as a team yesterday before we played our matches, and the great thing is we should all play the way we play, regardless of the moment, and support each other stylistically. So I understand why Summer's taking that shot down the line. It's what she does best.
And even though it is a pressure situation, we look over at Summer and Nelson. They look like they're on the beach right now. They're just having a good time.
Nelson's always having a good time.
Yeah.
Oh, so close. The sideline reaction from the Crocs there.
Matter of inches, and the Fast Falls get it back. Another game point situation.
Everyone's loving this. This is so fun.
Tense. George Wall,
A match.
captain stands tall. 22-20. That was a great game.
Look at George getting fired up. I love it. I love it. The man that normally has probably the resting heart rate of 20
Yeah, exactly
has
right.
jumped it up to 150.
Well, talking about resting heart rates, I think Talia Saunders would have skyrocketed after that high five. Bit of a sore hand after the pace, but the young gun is on. Ollie Gray, we mentioned him earlier.
G.
This is a fun matchup between Gray and Bhatia.
Yeah.
Tall, lanky, fast hands. Speaking of
We were
hands,
just talking about that.
Talia's in a bit of pain.
Oh, that's fun. But you know, what's so great about MLP is for those of us that played on a college tennis team or another sport, it goes back to that experience. And a lot of these players come from a high level of tennis, and a lot of the, Australian top players went over to the U.S. and played college tennis. It's like being in that environment again.
That's right.
It's so much fun. It's like we mentioned, it's part coach, part teammate, part cheerleader, part psychologist.
Yeah, well, they do everything. You're right. Speaking of high-level tennis background, Rose van Rijk, one of the top coaches from the Netherlands over here, leading the Crocs to victory in Auckland with that MVP performance. Pressure is on her, though. They must play again to secure that dreaded dream breaker for the Eastern Rush. However, we could have a hero moment here for the Fast Fours should Ollie Gray and Talia Saunders able to pull out a 3-1 victory.
And I know you've been on all the calls, so I'm going to ask, have the Crocs lost a dream breaker yet?
No.
I don't think so.
Nope. It is fair to say they are the kings and queens of the dreams because they are beating everyone. But
yeah.
I think, first of all, if they were able to finish off Season 2 with no dream breaker losses, that's kind of like, just saying to the MLPA staff that are listening right now, that's kind of like, you need to have that as a record. That's a really cool stat.
Well, that might even trump winning all 3 events. Like, I mean, that's huge, right? If you could do a clean sweep and you win all 3, but to never lose a dream breaker in the process,
that's crazy.
But as much as Summer is carefree with her draft analysis, she picked a great team.
She did. It's funny. I spoke to her just after our event in Melbourne last year, and I said to Summer, hey, what's the thought process here? And similar to what we mentioned, she was thinking about dinner and stuff. She's not even remotely concerned.
Sometimes spur-of-the-moment choices give you the benefit.
Oh, Fast Fours off to a fast start. Talia Saunders getting it back with a 2-0 lead.
Love Ollie taking chances.
He is so strong. And I was speaking to a couple of other people earlier today about when Ollie is bopping around and he is confident, he is a scary person to verse.
Oh, yeah.
What a fun duo of Gray and Saunders.
I mean, 2 of the most entertaining people off the court in this whole competition.
Yeah, Saunders is the kind of person like you wouldn't mind being stuck in an elevator with.
Oh, my gosh.
She would have some crazy stories, right?
Every time we see each other after a match, whether we played or not in this competition, she'll go, "Did you win one for us oldies?" Because I think we're on the upper end of the age spectrum for our competitors in this, and it's kind of our running joke. But that's how she is with everyone. She finds a little nugget to have fun with every person in the competition.
Oh,
wow.
Drops in. Bhatia, top spin applied, getting the job done. Crocs with a 1-point lead. Now, we talked about potential lower limb injuries. The Northern Crocs a bit wounded here with the duo of Rose van Rijk and Armin Bhatia. Now, this is where experience comes into play, whereas they are a championship team over and over again. They need to dig deep.
And he's on it. He is on it. He'll make a lot more of those than he misses. It's a great pattern of play.
Good luck getting that back. It ends up in the crowd.
One thing about Armand that's really interesting is he will hesitate a little more than most before he hits that overhead, and that creates space and time. It freezes his opponents, and then he can hit the ball where he wants and is usually effective.
Oh, get out of it.
Oh, what a good move from Ollie, though.
That recovery was crazy.
To quote the great Gordon Watson, sensational defense once again. Got to give our man a little plug here from time to time. Come on.
Send Gray Chanel.
block.
Oh, Saunders had the chance. She fired the first shot there at Rose. Rose able to get it back. Talia needs to get that smile back on. She's normally so chirpy on the court.
Little deep on that. Little deep.
Yeah, quick 3 points here for the Northern Crocs.
The wind's picked up a little bit here.
It has. And it will be blowing to the left, ladies and gentlemen, towards where Rose Van Rieck is currently standing.
Got to tighten those margins a little bit on the drops.
Holy Gray firing.
Yeah, bringing the heat.
And there's a side out once more. Talia Saunders to bring it in, currently 6-8.
What a drop.
Perfect.
I like that. I think in mixed doubles, a lot of time, players are a bit not afraid, but they're hesitant to drop to the male player. But when someone moves as much as Armand, it keeps that player a bit more honest with dropping behind just like that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but at least it makes them think.
Well, speaking of movement, that ball has been flung off the net. Tied game, Talia. We talked about smiling. She's got the grin going once again. Wes, I don't think we've seen anything past like a 3 or 4 point lead this entire
for sure.
match.
I think it was
so close.
8-5 is at the widest margin.
Yep. Oh, down the middle, split perfectly.
I mentioned the delay on the overhead. He does the same thing on his drive. Oh, what a good ball.
And the Force survive once more.
Great drop.
Ah,
Wow.
Talia Saunders, flick of the wrist.
We got a little fist bump from Talia there.
That's good.
Had a great drop.
How good is that? Talia Saunders responds. Their side is down. She comes up with a couple of clutch points, and the Fours once again take lead of the rotation, currently 11-10. Oh, the Fours. They have a chance to take this,
Yes, they do. And like we talked about, they want to win this right here. So there's a definite adjustment of mindset here because now they've been having the wind behind them the whole match. Now they're hitting into the wind.
Yep.
So personally speaking, I would rather play into the wind to end a match. I think it's, it can force certain opponents to overhit with the wind behind them, and we'll see how they adjust here.
Just waiting for a score check. There we go. 11-10. Oh, there it is, Bardia with the bang. Talk about the delayed smash, Wes. It's coming time and time again.
Yes,
Armin
it is.
coming up clutch.
What a drop.
How good was that from Rose Van Rieck?
Love the spin, love the angle. Gives Armand a lot of time to put pressure on with his movement.
Jab it at it. Handy 2-point lead here for the Crocs in a game as close as this, Wes. Every mistake is crucial.
That's right.
Yep, that's that lower limb injury I mentioned. Rose Van Rieck hobbles off the court. We hope she's okay. No, immediately we have a timeout called.
Yikes. Hope she's all right.
I don't know yet if it's a medical or a main timeout. And Wes, we don't want to bring it up, but if you are versing someone with that it can't move as much as possible, that shot there by Ollie Gray.
Yeah, I think they're looking for medical.
Medical immediately. Rose looks shattered.
Yeah.
It's so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Considering. Here we go. This is good sportsmanship from the Falls.
Yeah.
Immediately come over and check her.
You know, everyone is so friendly with one another that you would expect that. Yeah, that's. Oh.
Even Eastern Rush captain
I
Katie
know.
Hart coming over. She's in the middle of a game with Gold Coast Glory. Doesn't matter. So, ladies and gentlemen, to fill you all in, Rose Van Rijk did have a pretty nasty ankle sprain earlier in this event. She's unfortunately sprinting in for that ball, has had something not go well. We'll see what the call is here. Captain Summer Delabona has a tough choice to make as well. Double championship thus far, Wes.
Yeah, I think, you know, you're in the heat of the moment. You're wanting this, but at the same time, if it's major, you got to think long-term health. And, you know, at the end of the day, we're playing pickleball. We just want her to be healthy and happy. And, you know, she's a really tough human being when it comes to injuries, and I just hope for the best here.
Yeah, she's got a heart of a champion.
She
the
does.
Reigning MVP. No one wants to see any of our participants injured.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, Wes. This actually brings me back. I called one of her events in Melbourne last year, and she had a lower limb injury there as well. So we'll see what the call is. Being a medical timeout, ladies and gentlemen, they do get a 15-minute buffer. So we've got the medical staff with her right now. So Wes, give us some analysis. We're currently 12-13.
Yep.
With the Fours with a subtle one-match lead.
Yeah, I mean, that things were definitely moving in the direction of positivity for the Crocs there, and Ollie hit a unbelievable dropper.
Yeah.
You know, and forced Rose to get on the sprint there, and that's when we saw her pull up. But you know, I think Armand was getting a little more aggressive with his movement, and that would be something to continue.
Yep.
You know, when and if play resumes here.
Well, they'll be using the full length of the time, as you can see.
As we should. I mean, we're at this moment where we've got the semis, we've got the finals. You know, it looks like we got an ice pack coming.
But also on top of that, beautiful weather. Thankfully, it's nice sunny afternoon here in Redcliffe, so the players can actually just chill. Whereas when we were playing it Friday, it was raining and windy.
Yep.
You would not want to be out in the elements if you could avoid it.
Yeah. I was trying to deliberate about which environment I preferred most. Was it the wind and the rain, or was it the 40 degrees Celsius temperature of Sydney that first day?
Sydney was shocking.
And then the next day it was like 22.
Yeah, it was wild, man. I've called so many events in Australia, and that Sydney event, easily one of the warmest I've called. And that's from me from Darwin, where for our Australians listening, they'll know what I'm referring to, one of the warmest places in Australia.
Oh, yeah.
It was brutal. But question, you've been all around. Have you got a favourite place from Australia?
Place?
Yeah, like where have you gone where you just really enjoyed the city or the town?
You know, I mean, I've really just been in Sydney.
Yep.
And I've been here, and I haven't done a lot of exploration yet. Was fortunate enough, I'm going to give a shout-out to Mr. Martin Clark. I was able to spend some time at Clark's Paradise, so that was amazing. But I'm hoping here in the next week that I'm going to be enjoying and picking this area as my favorite. So.
Well, as the director of pickleball from Folks Pickleball Redcliffe, we are loving to have you here, Wes. But let's just see, as Rose Van Rijk deserves not only MVP awards, but she has an absolute heart of a champion. This is so good to see. She's back on the court. We wish her the best. It's currently 12-13. The Fours have got a 1-point lead. Armin taking charge.
Well, the hands certainly haven't gone away.
No, exactly right. So, Wes, if you are playing with a potentially injured partner, what would you be doing?
I would have her slide over, maybe a little bit more, and so it kind of depends on which way is going to create the extra pressure for her, you know. It seems like moving to the left may hurt a bit more, so I would slide her a bit over to the right and let Armand take a little more court. Oh.
Ollie Gray.
Ollie.
Incredible.
Wow, kid's coming alive. He's having fun. Little pep in the step.
Even Barty has given him an okay. He's like, yeah, fair enough, young gun. Go off. Oh, and he fires back.
It's a great shot.
Tough play there for Aman to pull that one off.
Yeah, I think we've all been in that position before where we think it's there, and it's not, but what a match.
Down the line, perfect. Ollie Gray is firing at the right time.
Ollie G.
Ollie G.
Ollie G.
Yeah.
Ollie G, here we go. Such a good ball.
Bartia is responding in kind. Multiple attempts. You can see he's really trying to pull Rose through here.
Yep. She is so focused. That's a good ball. And it's hard in this situation because as Armand, you want to cover more court.
Yep.
But not too much court.
That's right. And that's a quick 2 points there for the fours.
Good timeout
from the Crocs, yep.
It's the right move.
And the fast fours 3 points away from a championship court appearance.
Yeah. You know, I find it interesting with timeout selection and when to call it. My rule is if I'm playing in a regular scoring system, 3 points in a row, I'm calling it.
Yep.
Rally scoring, it's a little bit different.
Yep.
Unless it's really going off the rails, I tend to save it for the second half of the game.
Oh, that's amazing insight, Wes. So let's talk about the strategy of a timeout then. So what would be the reason you would call a timeout? We obviously talked about the scoreboard pressure, but is there anything else?
Needing water. Sometimes people get up a bit, and they, if maybe it's a match point, they call a timeout. They want the opponent to think about it before coming back out. So it's circumstantial, I think, based on the person. That's such a good ball.
And I believe, Wes, that we've just had a result on our other court. The Gold Coast Glory will be going through to the gold medal match. The winner of this game will be versing the Glory.
Oh.
And we have a tied game.
2 point swing. The timeout worked. Oh.
And they've taken the lead. Oh, my goodness.
Even though he missed that, I like that he took that chance.
And we have a quick timeout here on the side of the fast fours, just reassessing their strategy. This would be a win for the ages, Wes.
Well, it would set up a very unique Dream Breaker.
Yeah.
I don't know how much in the matches that you've called you've seen a cross-gender matchup in singles. I don't know if we've had any, right?
Barely any. I don't think I've seen... Now I think about it, I don't think I've seen any. Oh, no, that's false. In Sydney, we did have... In the Southeast Asia Surge, we did have it. But that is it.
So maybe if we get to that point, they make a call based on that. Who knows?
It was the Crocs and the Surge, I believe it occurred. But let's get back underway. Quick timeout. They now have a game point situation to force the Dream Breaker. This is incredible from the Northern Crocs. What a rally. We're going through to some singles,
word.
Wes. Holy dooly. That is crazy from the Northern Crocs. They've somehow pulled out a win with an injured Rose Van Rieck.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun, my friend.
Mate, okay, let's talk strategy here. Dreambreaker situation. We know that Armin Bhatia has a lower limb injury. We know that Rose Van Rieck also has a lower limb injury. How much pressure is now on Summer Alabona and Nilsson Shen to perform?
I think there is, but here's the interesting thing about this situation. I believe that the Crocs reacted.
Yep.
Right? So the fours had to indicate their lineup first. Now it's the Crocs. So that have to announce first.
Yep.
So the fours really get to adjust their strategy based on how they want to play this, right? And so if you're George and his team, you have an injured player, do you want to attempt to have a mismatch?
Yeah.
So you get 4 points, but will that make a mismatch somewhere else, right?
That's right.
I tend to think with an all-healthy lineup, I know in the States, having coached a little bit of MLP, I look at it this way. If you go into quote-unquote extra innings, if it's 2020, 21, I want my two best singles players going out at number 1 and number 2, regardless of matchup. Because when push comes to shove at the end, they're the ones playing more points than the rest.
We will see what happens. And it's funny because we look over at the Northern Crocs bench, and I just mentioned Summer Alabona has 2 potentially injured players on her side. She's over there laughing, Wes.
Yeah.
As calm as a cucumber. On the alternative side for the Fast Fours, I don't know how many Dreambreaker situations the Fast Fours have been in.
I think they've played a few.
Yeah. So they have some very solid singles players on their side as well.
Oh, yeah.
With George Ball, Mickey Hyatt, and Ollie Gray, all podium several times. Talia Saunders, probably not a singles specialist player out of the Fours.
But she's got the head and the heart of a champion.
That's right, exactly
right. So I think we talked about this a little bit at the onset, or maybe off camera. We talked about how Dreambreakers tend to come down to head and heart more than skill sometimes. So, Rose definitely showing a ton of heart here to pull through. And then it's always a little bit interesting when you're the opponent.
Wow.
Because how much do you keep your foot on the gas pedal? When it's your friend, they're injured. A lot of factors going through the mind.
I'm curious because I believe, as we have, ladies and gentlemen, behind the camera right now, you can't really see, but there's a huge crowd for this game. I imagine every point that Rose Van Rieck wins, you're going to get deafened. So if what do you think she'd be aiming for, Wes? Like a 1-3 or a 2-2 at a minimum?
It wouldn't shock me if she can get 2 or 3. Because she her spin, her serve, she has a good first ball. I think she's going to take chances. I think the points when she's on the court are going to be quick.
Yeah, she wants them to be quick. That's right, yeah. And alternatively, for the Fast Fours, so much pressure on for these guys and girls. Mickey Hyatt, I feel, will be the big player because we know Summer Alabona, she's clinical. She's going to perform well.
Oh, yeah.
From the alternative female side, we mentioned Talia Saunders will be digging deep. Mickey Hyatt will be trying to get significant points for the Fast Fours, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Well, and Armand was our singles champion here on Friday, right?
That's right. That's right. And our first matchup is up. Neither captain starting, Wes. We have Nilsson Shen taking on the young Ollie Gray. Let's get underway. Dreambreaker about to get started. Nilsson at the line, scores first.
What I love about Nilsson's singles game is it's a lot of cat and mouse.
Yeah.
It's not just power-based because he's so athletic. Ooh, a little wide.
Nilsson, the MVP from the Sydney event, knows how to perform under pressure. Ollie Gray.
Love the small ball from Ollie there.
Slowing it down, pumping himself up.
Cat and mouse. The kid's fired up.
What a rally. The Fours take an early lead.
That is clutch from Ollie.
And you asked about a potential mix match of the genders, Wes, not to be.
Yeah.
Bhatia coming on to take on Captain George Wall. First points. Aman, you mentioned the singles champ.
Put on quite an impressive performance on Friday. No, there we go.
Ties it up. Absolutely clutch from Bhatia. And again, the Dreambreaker specialist, the Northern Crocs, taking the lead. Can he get a 4-0 on the Captain Wes? Yes, he can. Wow. Let's talk about the psychological aspect of that. Huge for the Crocs. Speaking of captains, Summer Delabon and Mickey Hyatt, I thought this may have been the matchup we would have seen. This is huge.
Wow.
Oh, what a response. Hyatt immediately.
Yeah. Mickey's a solid singles player.
Very, very good.
He's going to pull you off the court with her topspin. We'll see what she does here.
Oh, quick double error. The captain's struggling here, Wes. Pressure is a funny thing in the game of pickleball.
Yeah, I think she'll settle in. Oh, unfortunate roll.
The Fours taking the lead.
Let's see if we get another sweep here, huh? Anything's possible. I mean,
yes.
Clutch. That was a great return.
That was insane. My goodness. The
hell of a passing shot.
And here is the story of the day. The injured Rose Van Rieck on the court up against Talia Saunders. Top of the paddle. Saunders responds.
That's a really good shot.
Heart of a champion. Rose responds. If she can make this a 2-2, Wes, that's a big deal.
Huge.
Smart play. Smart play by Saunders. She knows what she needs to do.
And even though she lost that point, it's a smart ball to hit.
Yep.
I mean, she's known for just passing people left and right. She's got to take the chance, especially given her current condition.
So good from Nilsson. So good. Calm as ever. Shedden bringing it in with a 7-10. We will have a swapping of sides, ladies and gentlemen, with the Fours, ironically, with a 4-point lead up against the Northern Crocs. Anything that's really come to mind thus far, Wes?
Not a whole lot other than the fact that we've got some good quality points. We've got some nerves, for sure.
Definitely.
I've seen a lot more missed thirds than we typically see. So
I always find it funny, Wes, in a Dream Break, you have so many people watching live, and it's so tense.
It is.
Nilsson goes wide. Ollie Gray continues to build this lead for the Fours. Nilsson not done yet, and here we go. This was the big matchup that we saw earlier. Northern Crocs, Armin Bhatia would love to get some more points on the board for his side.
Wow.
So go, George.
I think that heart rate went up to about 25 there.
if that.
It's a good return.
Talking about heart rates, mine's through the roof. Where this is such an intense game of pickleball.
That's good stuff.
Ooh, kicked wide.
I like the angle attempt, though. I think that's the right play here. See if he can even it up. Wow.
So good. Captain standing tall.
Cat and mouse. Here we go.
Summer Delabona needs to get up for her side.
I think they're at 15. Yep. Right side now. Nope.
Called out. Challenge is there. Confirmed in. Double-handed excellence there by Michaela Hayat.
Wow, that's just great pickleball.
Too good. Wes, are we about to see for the first time in MLPA Season 2 history the Northern Crocs not in the gold final?
I don't know. There's a lot of pickleball left, my friend.
Summer's not done.
Oh, that's right.
Summer is not done.
It's her point. Yeah, it's her serve. I think they're good now. They're both having a good laugh.
Giggle, yeah. So good, Mickey
really
Hayat.
Good. I think that definite enhanced topspin she plays with really set that ball up well for her.
Talia Saunders has the opportunity to be the hero here for her side with an 18-10 lead. Tense pickleball here at Focus Pickleball Redcliffe for Major League Pickleball Australia's semi-final. Heart of a champion.
Oh, no.
Wow, that is so good from Talia Saunders surviving that. Rose Van Rijk. How much can she push herself here?
Great return.
Wow,
Gutsy.
What a return. My goodness.
See if she can go 3-1 here. Oh, it's hers.
Van Rijk with a 3-1. Incredible effort from the current MVP.
You know, last night, weren't we at 19-13 in a match, and the team with 13 came back? Anything's possible.
Oh,
Such
my
a good ball
goodness,
from
Nelson Chen.
Oh, my word. You could hear a pin drop around
so
here.
So tense right now.
Oh my gosh.
So tense. Oh my goodness, Nelson Chen putting on a show for the crowd here at Redcliffe.
All right.
Goosebumps levels right now, Wes. Ooh boy.
So here we go.
Are we going to see a 3-1 into a 4-0?
Well, you know, I'll wait for this point. Well, here we go.
The fours. The captain is on the court. George Wall, chance to stand tall and take the victory for his side.
He's got a smile on his face. Heart rate's at 20.
Yeah, yes, the fours are through to the final. George Wall with the captain's appearance coming up clutch. The Northern Crocs, for the first time, will not be present in our grand final, Wes. What a game.
What a great match. Gutsy performance all the way around. All 8 players. Phenomenal pickleball.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. The fours are through for the Northern Crocs. Their campaign ends for this particular season, or for this particular event. However, they've taken their overall place in the total season. So well done to Captain Summer Delabonna and her side. We have to give a huge shout out to Rose. Van Der Eek. That is the story of the match. The injury coming in, still coming up clutch in the singles events.
Yeah, unbelievable. Heart of a champion. And again, this is going to be a fun final. Lots of pickleball ahead of us.
Well, I mean, it's going to be spicy, I'll tell you that, George, because in our PPA events earlier today, we did see George Ball go up against Danielle Townsend.
Yes. We may see the rematch.
It's going to happen again. So Gold Coast Glory, Fast Fours, coming up on Showcourt, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, as always, Wes. You were fantastic in the booth.
Thanks for having me.
We will jump over to Showcourt now, ladies and gentlemen. Dylan Kimlin live here from Major League Pickleball Australia at Focus Pickleball Redcliffe. Some championship games coming up next.